My name is Marcus, and this all happened when I was a sophomore in college. After not getting a dorm room for my second year, I had to find off-campus housing. Long story short, I ended up in a co-op, part of a 3-house community near campus. It wasn't ideal, but it was cheap. I didn't mind the extra travel time because I had a bike. Most of the residents were students, like me, but there was one person who immediately stood out. She was an older woman, maybe in her late 50s or so, though she looked a bit older. Her hair was graying, and she walked with a limp, as if she had a back injury. She was always quiet and kept to herself, with a blank expression on her face. I assumed she had some connection to the university, maybe faculty or an alum, but no one ever explained, and I didn't ask. The first time I saw her do something strange was in our common kitchen. Now, the 2 other houses had their own kitchens, so I wasn't sure why she'd be hanging out in ours. She wasn't cooking, eating, or talking to anyone. She just stood there, watching us as we talked, cooked, and listened to music. She didn't try to join in. I caught her eyes a few times, and there was a weird feeling that she was watching me, specifically, even though I knew that was unlikely. No one acknowledged her, which I thought was odd. Maybe they knew something I didn't. A few days later, I was doing homework in my room when I saw her again. I glanced out my window, and there she was, standing in the street, staring up at my window. It was late, and it was cold. She must have been freezing. I couldn't tell if she was looking directly at me or just in my general direction, but I felt like she was staring at me. For some reason, I waved at her, trying to be friendly. As soon as I did, I regretted it. She didn't wave back. Instead, she jumped up and down a few times, as if she were excited, then ran toward one of the other houses. It felt sickening, realizing she knew which room was mine. Later that night, I asked one of my housemates about her. "Hi, Tommy." She told me she'd always been there, and that I should just ignore her like everyone else did. I asked around more and found out that she was associated with a university, but had a strange personality. No one knew much else, and they said they could control who lived there, since that was up to the property manager. I wasn't fully satisfied with that answer, but I tried to forget about her. But then, things started to get worse. One night, I walked out of my room and nearly ran into her. She was standing right in front of my door, and I literally jumped back in shock. It was past midnight, and the house was dead silent. She didn't say a word. She didn't even react to seeing me. She just turned around and walked away, as though I were the one intruding on her space. This was only the beginning of a series of unsettling encounters. At some point, I lost my room key. The houses had personal locks, and most people left their doors unlocked. But not me. Couldn't sleep comfortably with the thought that someone could just walk in. Losing my key was a big deal, and I had to make a copy. A few nights later, I woke up in the middle of the night. There was a soft, rhythmic, bumping sound coming from my closet, like something was moving behind the door. I wasn't scared easily, but this was different. I quietly got out of bed, trying to keep my breathing steady. I opened the closet door with one swift motion and screamed. There she was. The woman was in my closet, with one of my ties wrapped around her neck. She had a kitchen knife in her hand. My scream must have startled her, because before I could react, she lunged at me with the knife. I screamed again, this time out of pure fear. I wrestled her to the ground, managing to disarm her. I yelled for help, and my housemates came rushing down the hall. My friend Lee helped me hold her down while someone called the police. The rest of that night was a blur. The police arrived quickly and arrested her on the spot. By then, she had stopped screaming, but wouldn't say a word. They found my missing room key in her possession. The whole thing was terrifying. A few weeks later, we got the answer. She was the property manager's sister. He'd been letting her live there without anyone knowing. She had severe mental health issues, and instead of getting her proper care, he just stuck her in an unoccupied room. The property manager was arrested for negligence and a series of other crimes. To this day, I blame him more than her. I feel sorry for her, but my pity doesn't change the fact that she tried to kill me. I'll never forget that night, and I don't think I'll ever look back on my time in college without thinking about it.